Welcome back everybody. Today's video will be a showcase of all of the chocolate squishies I've acquired and kept so far in my squishy collecting adventures. My videos always tend to be very detailed, so I will be giving a brief review of each squishy based on what I've experienced owning it this far. Some of these will be newer, others not, and I have squished many of these way more than I have certain ones, so that will affect my opinion on it. But other than that, these are the ones that I've genuinely liked enough to keep, even after kind of squishing them after a while, even after perhaps the smell going away after a while. And I have to say, I'm pretty proud of my collection, especially since it's not super extreme. I've managed to condense it down to one drawer. It won't fit in my frame, obviously, but here is what I have of my chocolate squishy collection, and I will be able to tell y'all what my favorite is. I don't think my journey into finding the perfect chocolate squishy is done, but it is close. All right. Now to start off this video, I'm going to begin with all the squishies that I own that are chocolate flavored but are not scented. And also, majority of the chocolate flavored squishies in this category I do not have if they are mini, such as any J-Dream bread flavors that are chocolate, because J-Dream is not really, I don't count it in my squishy chocolate collection just because, you know, they're not, I don't really buy them for the chocolate, they're just cute. Anyway, the first squishy that I have is this Bloom chocolate. I don't know what this is. I can't remember. I think it's some form of cake. It's one of those squeeze toys, the flower kind. And a couple of people wanted me to buy a couple of these to sell in my store, and I did think about it, but I just don't have much to buy from Surugaya at the moment. So if they're still available, I will try to buy a couple of these to put on my eBay shop for y'all. These are really fun because they have that very flower texture and they make really nice sounds. So I like them a lot. So yeah, these are really fun. I do recommend them. And for the size, it's not too bad. It's a very palm size squishy or squeeze toy. I know some of y'all can get a little testy about that definition. And I like this one because it's very squishy. This is very much a purely squish factor squishy or squeeze toy. It still has the plastic smell even after all this time, so if you're not into that, I wouldn't recommend this because it is quite strong and sticks to your hands. But again, it's a very fun squishy. The next one I have, I've owned ever since I can remember. I feel like I've only opened this once. This is one of the Cafe Dien chocolate croissants. And I just like the design of it. It's very realistic. It's slow rising. I'm not going to take it out of the bag. I apologize. I just like the way it looks. It's simple, but chocolate. Looks delicious. And these early ones were not scented. But I think this is just a good squishy to squish and like to put in your collection if you like the ones that look really good. Next I have this Hello Kitty donut. This one I believe was also not scented, although honestly I have not checked in a while. But I just like the design of it. I was never really into the Hello Kitty donuts, but this one caught my eye just because I like the contrast of the strawberries. It's not really painted on there, it's like a printed design, which I like because it looks very sharp and perfect. And I like the chocolate with some dots there and the bow. It just looks really good. And it's very slow rising. There's the tongue. I just like the look of it. Here I have this Pico squishy. This one I will take out. I use this for ASMR. It's a very simple squishy, one of the kind that are sold in Japan in the crane game machines, so it's not much to talk about, but I absolutely love it because it's so squishy. Oh, my bad. This is in the wrong category. This is scented. But yeah. So it is scented. It smells very sweet, kind of floral. Delicious, actually. Like a sweet bread smell, kind of. A little floral. The next one I have is this Hammy, the Sweets Life hamster donut. And then this comes in various colors, but I like the chocolate design. It's not the squishiest squishy, I just like it for the design mainly. Very cute. I'm not sure if these are still available anywhere. Next is this chocolate angel cake. This is another Japanese squishy from the Crane Games. And this comes in various flavors, but I only ever kept the chocolate one. And I was quite impressed by how much I like this. It's a very simple design, very realistic, and it's very squishy. It has this doughy feeling to it. I just like it. And this kind of feels like they were trying to make it scented. I feel like it was a little bit stronger when I first got it, but for now it just doesn't really have much of a smell. Despite that, it's not chemical-like either. It has a very faint, soft, sweet smell. So I like it. I like it a lot. It's very cool, squishy. And then, I want to say this is the last one in this category just because I'm not sure. I don't remember if the buns over there are scented. But here I have the IMO Tokyo chocolate roll cake, or cake roll. Now I do like this one a lot. The texture is very unique. I kind of wish more companies made squishies nowadays in this texture because it's just so satisfying for me. It's really nice. And it was supposed to be scented, but it was probably too old and it didn't smell like anything for me. But again, it's a very satisfying squishy. It feels almost homemade, but with the perfection and clean lines of a mass-produced squishy. And again, this was meant to be scented, and it kind of is actually. Oh, interesting. I guess this grew a scent since the last time I opened it, because it does have a faint sweet smell. It's not chocolate, I wouldn't say, but it is sweet. It's pretty good. So, all right, you learn something new every day. If you can find this, good luck. May the world be in your favor, because it is quite rare, and I only found it through shopping online in Japan, Yahoo auctions. So good luck if you're into this one. I recommend it for sure. Okay. Now let's move on to some mini squishies. Here I have this Moo Cow by Umeno. I think, if I remember correctly, this was intended to be scented like chocolate or chocolate milk or something like that, but when I opened it, it just wasn't. It's very cute though, I do like it. I like to hang it by my computer sometimes and just pull it out to squish. You can see the Umeno licensing on the bottom. And a majority of these squishies I've already done intense reviews on, so I'm just going to probably rush through them a lot. This one, however, does not smell like sweet milk or anything anymore. I think it had a faint sweet smell when I first got it, but right now it just smells like glue to me. Like Mod Podge or something. It's still cute though, and it's tiny. I mean, what do you expect from a tiny squishy? Very cute. Next I have this iBloom Mini Toast. I wish they'd made a larger version of this, otherwise this would be on my top 5 squishies, because it does smell really good. It has the same chocolate smell as the banana that I'm going to show in a bit. The iBloom chocolate banana. And it's so tiny. So yeah, I hope they make a bigger version of this eventually. So it has a very, it's faint now, but it does have a clear chocolate pudding smell. Really good. I wouldn't recommend this though if you want a real chocolate cake, because it's just so small that the smell isn't really that strong. It wouldn't satisfy the cake for me. The next one I have is this very rare IMO Tokyo chocolate churro. Now, this is the reason that I started collecting chocolate squishies. This is the whole reason I kind of got into squishies in the first place. I was just amazed when I first got this at how delicious it smelled. It smelled absolutely delightful. Exactly like chocolate pudding, like the store-bought chocolate pudding. It was so good. And unfortunately, over time, the smell has just gone away, even though I have kept it in the packaging majority of the time. I think that's just what happens to squishies. The chemicals from the smell just go away after a while. The chocolate smell for sure is gone, but I do have still a hint of, oh, it has cracks all over it. That's how old this thing is. But I do smell something sweet, so it doesn't smell bad or anything anymore. But unfortunately, it's no longer part of my scented collection. But it's still really fun. If you can find this in any of the colors, I think it's a fun squishy to have. This one technically should have been part of my non-scented squishies, but because it was originally meant to be scented, I kind of put it in this category. It is one of the original Anima Melon Bread buns, chocolate flavor. However, when I got it from someone used who had already opened it, so the smell, I think, just went away after a while because I did not smell a thing. Has some cracks along it. Yeah, I don't really smell anything on here, which is a shame, but I think the look of it is still really unique with the speckled sugar and the dark brown. So it's still a fun squishy. I would not pay the inflated prices for these though, even if they were brand new in the packaging. I don't think they're worth it. A lot of squishies nowadays are just better. But moving on, we have the J-Dream Bread. I can't remember what series this is. I want to say it was series 3. And that is around the time that they actually started putting scents on these toasts. This is around the time where it actually smelled like something, which is why I kept this. That, and it just looks really cool. Like, it looks really good. I want to have chocolate loaf where I can just cut slices and they're all chocolate like that. This is still a very fun squishy, but unfortunately I believe the smell has gone away. Before, when I first opened this, it had a very faint but unique chocolate smell that I really enjoyed, but now it just kind of smells like the glue or chemical glue smell from the plastic here. So that's a shame, but again, it's a very neat, unique squishy that I like. A pain in the butt to put back in the packaging though, just as a warning. Alright, let's move on. Next here I have the I Bloom chocolate banana that I was talking about. This one had the exact same scent that the churro had when I first got it. It's a very unique chocolate pudding smell. It's really good, absolutely delicious. Except I believe this banana had a much stronger version of it. Here we go. Has that old school smooth I Bloom texture. So it makes really nice sticky sounds. This is Bloom right there. Oh, it still smells really good. Ooh, now it kind of smells like Cocoa Puffs. That's really delightful. So this is a highly recommended squishy for me if you're looking for that chocolate scent. This one smells so good. Again, though, it's I Bloom. The smell is going to go away after a while. So right now it's a little fainter than what I remember in the past. And the smell changed a little, but it still smells really good. Like before it was chocolate pudding, now it kind of smells like Cocoa Puffs to me. Just remember that I have a lot of chocolate squishies to choose from, so what may end up lasting a long time for me may not for you if that's the primary chocolate squishy you squish. Alright. Next I have the Bonbon chocolate and strawberry, or just chocolate, little toast dog by Pepper Cha-Cha. This is a limited edition, all authentic. And honestly, I think I'm gonna sell this one back because I haven't been enjoying it as much as I thought I would. It's really cute. I really like the design, but I'm just not into it as I thought I was when I first got it. But let me show y'all what it looks like. It's really cool and squishy. Cute. For me though, Yeah, it does not have a chocolate smell. It's just very perfumey, which is kind of weird. Very mild perfume floral smell that I think is trying to imitate the sweet bread smell, but it's just not the same. It is very cute though. The design alone is I think worthy of your collection. But if you're looking for a good chocolate smell, this was not it for me. I heard a lot of people say that it was for them, that was like their big chocolate squishy. And it may have just been a batch issue. I may have just gotten one from a not as scented batch. And that's the risk you have to take when you buy squishies. Next, I have the chocolate bar by Jane Squishy. Both versions. I will be opening this one right now because I'm still curious about the difference between the dark chocolate and the regular milk chocolate bar, whether or not the scent is the same. Let me open this one for you. So here's what the chocolate bar looks like. It's very reminiscent of the Mother Garden chocolate bar, which was okay. I didn't really like it. And I mainly like this one for the smell, because this one does have a unique chocolate scent. A chocolate scent that has gotten a lot sweeter since I got this, but I still smell it in there. It doesn't smell bad. It's really good actually, but it's a lot sweeter now than I remember. Kind of like, not perfume, but a very soft flower smell. I keep saying floral, but that's all that really pops to mind when I smell these. They're just really nice. Not too overpowering, very natural and sweet. But it looks like the chocolate scent is going out. But when I first got this, the scent was amazing, chocolate-wise. I was very impressed. So I have reviewed all of these squishies in previous videos, so if you're interested to know where to buy certain squishies, because a lot of these you can only get in Japan. They're probably sold out if they're from a crane game machine, so you can only find them on auction sites. But these for sure are available on they have a store on Rakuten called Jane Squishy. I also have a Twitter, and you can look through my past videos for the links to that. So here's the dark chocolate one. It's just a squishy. I don't really see much of a difference. This one just looks a little redder, I guess. Oh! So the smells are the same. This one has the smell that the milk one had when I first opened it. It's really good. It smells like chocolate, like a soft chocolate cake smell. Not too chocolatey, much more sweet, but it smells really good, and I would recommend the squishy. Because look at that. It's just so fun. My only gripe with these is that the packaging, and by that I mean the wrapper, is very flimsy. It's just like printed out, a printed out wrapper with really thin paper, so it gets crinkled and damaged really easily. But other than that, I would recommend these. Next I have the I Bloom Ayama Tokyo Croissant. I'm surprised these weren't that popular after a while. The one I got initially is really nice. I got this one from Japan. And I did get a second one that did not have the same smell from, I think it was Delightful Boutique or Squishy Shop or one of those stores. Because at that point, I Bloom was making like a batch to sell overseas for people. But it just wasn't the same smell-wise. But look at this. Even if it's not chocolate scented, look at this. It's so squishy. The smell is a lot different. It's definitely not that much of a chocolate smell anymore. It's just generally sweet with a hint of that kind of toasted cocoa bean smell. It still smells good though, so I'm not mad at it. This one I'm not going to open because technically it's scented, but it was never really a chocolate scent. These cakes were never really chocolate scented or scented to smell like the color they were. If anything, they originally smelled really sweet, like meringue or some type of frosting. And then with this soapy after smell. I was never mad at the smell though. I thought it was a really good smell. And these cakes are still one of the best squishies you can get. The texture of them is just so soft. You really can't describe the feeling of this squishy. It's like a cloud, but doughy and also just so soft. This is one I recommend for everyone's collection. And they were popular for a while. I think almost everybody has at least one of these in their collection. The scent has retained over the years, although I have not been squishing this one much, so that's probably why. But it still very much has that very sweet, soapy kind of smell. It's really good. Next, I have this wonderful donut by Sweet Holic Cafe DN. I got this from Surugaya, although some shops may have it available. It's very standard, very soft, unlike the traditional original Cafe DN. I like the size of it because it's pretty big, fits in your hand, and it's just so slow rising and squishy. It is scented, however this was never, I think, intended to have a chocolate smell. It has a very sweet bread kind of cake smell. Oh my goodness, I think I got stronger. It smells pretty good though. Again, a little soapy, but really good. And most of the squishies from this series, the Sweet Holic, have the similar smell. So if you have one of those, then this probably has the same smell as the one you have, even if it's not the donut. It's not bad. Here I have these buns. These I wasn't sure where to put because I don't think they were really intended to be scented, but they did smell like something if I remember correctly from the last time I opened them. They're just really cute buns. They come in a pack of 3. They're by Picnic Premium, which they do have their own shop on Rakuten if you want to check out all the squishies they have available. Although you will need a proxy to order from them since they don't ship internationally. And I just like how realistic these look. I like it when they put effort into making them look real. And these do have a smell. It's just the generic sweet smell. Not like any of the Banggood squishies. It's a very soft, kind of realistic sweet bread smell. It's really good. But again, it's not chocolate. And I don't think it was intended to be chocolate, so I'm not really mad about it. But this is supposed to be, I think, either a standard or chocolate flavor. I just brought it in because it looked brown enough to be chocolate. Here I have a punimaru star donut. I've kept this one over the years because it is very squishy and I like the sound it makes. Even to this day, it still has that kind of sticky sound when you squish it. It's very slow rising, and the overall design I really like. It's just a very simple donut. It's quite fat when it's not squished. Now, Punimaru is one of the squishy companies whose chocolate scent I absolutely detest. It has never smelled like chocolate to me. It's always smelled like this dirty rag smell. I apologize, my dogs are barking. So even though I've given a lot of their chocolate scented squishies a try, it's always been the same smell and I've never liked it. Not once. This one I kept despite that because after a while the smell did go away. And the reason I tend to hate that smell a lot is because it's the type that gets on your hands. So, you know, after squishing the squishy, you smell disgusting. But, like I said, the smell has gone away and it's actually turned into a softly sweet smell. Like a cake smell. Standard vanilla cake smell. After that dirty rag smell just went away. So, if you have a Punimaru squishy that's chocolate and you don't like the smell, you do have to, I would recommend airing it out. It took a while. Punimaru tends to have pretty strong smells anyway. So it might take you a while to air that thing out until it stops smelling gross. But that is what happened with mine, and I'm still enjoying this one to this day. So there's that. But again, it's not a chocolate squishy for the scent. Next, here is the biscuit bread by iBloom. I recently opened this one and raved about it because it smells delicious and the squish is amazing. I had this on my desk to squish for a while, at least a month, and the smell never went away, which I was surprised by. But eventually I did put it back in the packaging so I wouldn't risk the smell running down. And it's still so squishy. It has this very soft, kind of spongy feel. but it's hollow and doughy at the same time. It's so squishy, so nice. I love it. This is one I really recommend. Like, it's just so nice. And the chocolate smell is legitimately chocolate. I wouldn't say it's the chocolate pudding smell like the banana, but it's a little similar. It's more of a like cocoa smell, like chocolate, hot chocolate. And it's so squishy. Like, look at this. So there's that one. The next two that I have are ones that I opened recently in my most recent squishy package opening. This is the Melty Cinnamon Roll by iBloom as well. I did air the chocolate one out, and it does actually have kind of a chocolate smell now. It's more of a dark chocolate smell that's kind of running down now already, actually. But it does have a hint of it, and I'm not mad at it. But I wouldn't recommend the chocolate one for a chocolate squishy if the scent is what you're worried about. The cocoa cream had a much stronger smell, but it smells more like cream than it does cocoa. It smells really good though, like, oh my goodness. It changed a little actually. So even though it's not chocolate, I think I would recommend the cocoa cream more than the chocolate one. Whatever smell this is, good job iBloom, because it smells divine. Just be forewarned, mine did come with a defect, so these I think the paint job is a little fragile on these because there's some flecks on the bottom of the chocolate one. And this one had some flecks around it as well. But other than that, they are really, really nice to squish. Slightly similar to the biscuit bread. Kind of that same soft feel, except the texture's different, obviously, with all this cream at the top and the bread and the spiral at the bottom. The next one is the English Bread by IMO Tokyo. This one is out of print and has been for a while. I actually bought two of these. The first one didn't impress me, so I sold it back to a collector. This one, however, I bought later on for a much cheaper price. And this one supposedly had the exact same smell as the IMO Tokyo Churro, which makes sense because it was also part of the original IMO Tokyo series. I mainly kept it because it's just unique. I don't know. It just has this unique texture when you squish it. It's not the slowest to rise, but it is very fun because of all these bubbles at the top. This one is pretty old, so I would not recommend looking for this for the smell because I highly doubt a lot of them out there on the market by people actually still smell like chocolate. Supposedly when it first came out, it smelled exactly like the churro, but when I got this one and the previous one before this, it did not really smell like much. But it is a very nice squish, very soft, and I like the bubbles at the top. Easy to defect though because of these creases. Now, I did not realize my camera wasn't recording, so I'm just gonna rush through the other ones because they're already out of the packaging. The next one I have is the punimaru. It is very, very nice to squish. It's super soft, a little hollow but doughy. I think it smelled a lot more like chocolate when I first got it, but right now it doesn't really have much of a chocolate smell. It has a very faint sweet smell that smells good, but you know, it's not really one that I would go for to smell chocolate. But it is very fun, and look at how slow rising this is. It's kind of crazy. So this is still a nice squishy if you're into looking to buy this. Very squishy. And then finally, I also already took this one out of the packaging. It is the Sacher Torte, which is the chocolate cake in collaboration with Mouche that iBloom did. I was pleasantly surprised by this one. It has a very doughy texture. The style or design is simplistic, which I like. And when I first got this, it smelled really good. Almost exactly like a dark chocolate. Now, after it's had some time, I did squish this a bit and had it outside of the packaging for a while before I put it back. Right now, it reminds me of the smell that the Kibru chocolate bun had. Almost exactly like that. When I first got it, at least, the smell on that bun changed after a while and it did not smell good. But when I first got it, it definitely reminds me of that smell. It's very sweet. There's a hint of maybe they were trying to go for chocolate, but I don't really smell chocolate anymore. It's just kind of sweet. And I'm not going to lie, I'm disappointed that it doesn't have the chocolate scent. But I do still like this for the squishiness. It's a really fun one. I wish they made more squishies with this similar smooth finish and detail. All the little bumps. So yeah. I know I tend to ramble, so let me summarize if you got this far. Best smell for chocolate specifically is definitely the biscuit bread, the Jane squishy chocolate bars, and this banana right here. This one smells like chocolate pudding. For the squish, I think they all have their own merit. If you're willing to spend the money, I think these newer iBloom squishies are the way to go. The biscuit bread so far is my favorite, but if you're more on the cost-effective side, this Cafe Dien donut is amazing. A lot of these that I have are kind of rare, and I understand that, so that's why I'm kind of recommending the ones that you can probably still get now. But if you like the design, each of these have their own merit. Well, that's it. I would have to say I'm still on the look for the perfect chocolate squishy, just because I did mention earlier that the biscuit bread the smell is changing a little bit to just be generic sweet. It's still very strong though. That's why I still like it so much. It has a very strong smell still. But I don't think any particular company, whose squishies I've bought obviously, have really captured that chocolate essence in their squishies. And I have had people in the past recommend me getting like fragrance oil, which is a thing you can buy like on Etsy or eBay or things like that. My problem with that is that I'm very particular about the chocolate smell, so if I buy a chocolate scented oil online and I get it and it doesn't smell good, that's kind of a waste of money. That said, I'm excited to see what the squishy companies will make in the future, if anything at all. It kind of looks like iBloom is the only one who's really going for the chocolate scents now. And I think they're doing an okay job. The chocolate cake was a huge hit when I first got it, but again, it seems to have the same problem as a lot of iBloom squishies, which is that the smell just does not last. Here's to hoping though that one of these days one company will really perfect that chocolate scent, make it strong enough to where you can smell the bakery when you walk in and squish your squishy for a reasonable price. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.